How's it going, everybody? This is always a fun video to share with you because today we got the new rules for the next seasons of War and Cosmic Crucible. I'm starting to think that we probably will see War flip over more often, maybe as often as Cosmic Crucible. I think it should, because the way they change the rules for War is normally pretty generic. It's normally just like X new team gets a little bit of a stat bump and maybe they do like offense down on their basic attacks. So something very minuscule like that, right? So I think we should hopefully start seeing them flip that sooner. But let's see what they got in store for us. Greetings, Commanders. A chilly new War and Crucible season descends upon Marvel Strike Force. Whispers echoes through the darkened halls of helicarriers and across the crumbling arenas of the Living Tribunal. So, Halloween stuff, it seems like. New War season, Halloween Showdown. Well, there it is. Begins on October 5th and will be a shorter season lasting until November 30th. Just 2 months. This is what I think a War season should be, like 2 months long. I love that it's going to be thematic. Hopefully after November 30th, we're going to get like a Christmas themed war. I think that'd be pretty cool. Who would be a good Christmas theme? You guys let me know in the comments. Global. On successful hit, attacking Secret Warrior allies, copy 3 negative effects from self to each target. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is like a very uninvolved global rule. Secret Warriors spawn with immunity and safeguard, so them copying 3 negative effects from self to each target doesn't really apply very well, because normally the way that team works, Yo-Yo will go, then Negasonic will go, and then they're vulnerable to some debuffs. Domino will go pretty fast too. Then I guess those 3 are vulnerable to debuffs, but I wouldn't say it's rare, but it's uncommon for them to see their second turn. Normally they just blow up and then Phantom Rider kills everybody because of his passive, right? So I think this is a very, very minuscule rule. It'll apply in very rare circumstances. It will help doing punch-ups a little bit, a very little bit, and very, very niche. But yeah, so this is pretty much a nothing burger, but cool anyway. On successful hit, attacking Undying allies will perform an ISO attack to primary target with bleed. Okay, that's different. Now there's a qualifier. They need to have a bleed, but if they do have a bleed, Undying allies will do an ISO attack. I love that. I think like Juggernaut's ISO attack absolutely smashes. Whatever Kestro's gonna do, probably gonna have something to do with defense down. Zombie Scarlet Witch, I think, does bleeds on her basic, as does Iron Man Zombie. So it just helps stack up bleeds on bleeds on bleeds. So that's kind of cool. This one is less niche. This will be much more easy to tap into on the offense. All right, Room. Defending Brimstone allies. Ooh. Defending Brimstone allies with bleed gain 5% speed. Is this a signal that a team, or at least a character that does bleeds, is part of the best Brimstone counter? Interesting. Interesting to think about. Maybe that Undying team, they rely a lot on bleeds. Maybe the Kestrel edition is going to kind of open up the door for them to tackle Brimstone. Kind of curious, but this is just for defending Brimstone allies. It does seem pretty minuscule. It'd be like, avoid putting bleeds on them. And at the same time, if Medbay is still giving regens out, I think Medbay gives regens out, or is defense out? I don't know. Whatever the case may be, you would not want to flip those regens, or if they do get regens, into bleeds, because that would increase their speed. Kind of interesting there. We get 20% primary stats to attacking allies. Then for rooms, using one of the following full defending teams, so you have to use all cookie cutter teammates, will provide a 30% stats. Annihilators, Astral, Starjammers, X-Men, and Thunderbolts. First of all, nobody does full Thunderbolts, at least at the high levels, because Songbird is so valuable for Professor X counters. It's just not really a thing. X-Men teams and characters, they don't really pull it together. If it was just mutants, this could be a lot more interesting, but like, you want to keep Omega Red Phoenix first with your Phoenix, and instantly that breaks that, right? And the other mutants are very, very old. Or sorry, the other X-Men are very, very old. So this is a weird one. Yeah, Starjammers I get, but again, nobody keeps full Starjammers together because Vigilante or some really low-cost team comes in, outspeeds the Starjammers. It doesn't matter how many stats they have. They just kill the Landra and it's over for them, right? Astral is proving to be better on offense than defense at this point. There's also so many counters for them, and you would have to pull Moondragon off and add, I have some examples like a Mephisto and Ares and Odin, America Chavez. You have to add a Black Cat to stop Undying, right? You have to add something of interest, or full Astral is kind of garbage, and full Annihilator, it's the same thing. So this whole full defending team thing, I don't think is working out the way they were hoping for it to, at least at the competitive side. It's definitely not making the game easier or less complicated. But you guys let me know. If you are lower down in the war rankings, and I'm not trying to talk down to anybody, but if you're in like gold or silver, are you seeing these full cookie cutter teams? And if you are, if you're struggling with them, let me know. I've got a bunch of counters for you guys. All right, 30% primary tax to attacking Avengers. Okay, here we go. Mighty Avengers get to live for at least 2 more months. When the Mighty Avengers lose this extra 30% primary stats, I fear for them. They already suffer because it's so unimaginable to put Gear 20 on them, so they want to attack teams that very often have overpowered characters, so they already struggle mightily from that. So when they lose this 30% stats, that's a dead team. Liberty, Absolute A-Force. Absolute A-Force should almost be getting the defensive side of this now. And yeah, they got to take the full teams off this to make it more interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Vigilante, I mean, that's cool. And Fantastic Four MCIs, I think this one is currently in place. But I think I'm starting to see more Fantastic Four on defense with like Mephistos and Super Skrulls or Professor X's, because they're just so annoying in how much they encompass that speed stat meta, the Fantastic Four characters. So kind of interesting there. All right, let's go. Medbay, yeah, okay, here you go. Apply 2 regeneration to defending allies. So if you have Brimstone characters and they're in Medbay, make sure you don't flip those regens into bleeds or you're going to have a bad time. On turn, defending allies with regeneration, flip offense down. Armory is 20% primary stats to defending allies from adjacent rooms. And when attacking units with defense up, they apply bleed. Okay, we're going to have a very bloody war season. Security, apply defense down, so that's the exact same. Oh, and offense down. Hold on. This is new, isn't it? Security is defense down and offense down. I like that. It's a good change. Bridge, apply 10 positive effects randomly to defending allies. That's what it's always been. Hanger to adjacents is 15% barrier and max barrier. Cool. Reactor disrupt, that's the same. Barracks, apply offensive to defending allies. On successful hit, defending allies with offensive, apply bleed. All right, more bleeds. Let's go. Cargo bay, global, 10% to primary stats to all defending allies. On turn, gain bleed. What? On turn, gain bleed. Who? On turn, enemies gain bleed? This probably means we gain bleed, I would have to assume. On turn, the offense gains bleed. Probably. Don't quote me on that, but probably. I like it. Hey, it's going to be a very, very bloody season. Engineering. Apply defense up to all defending enemies. On turn end, allies with defense up gain 5% barrier per defense up. I like it. All right, hey, they actually did some very kind of minor tweaky things, like all the extra bleeds coming there, the offense down from security, the extra bleeds being applied from, I think, barracks and was it armory? An armory. I like that. I think it's going to not change very much. I don't think it's going to change very much, but I like that they are starting to flirt with some more impactful stuff for war seasons. All right, Cosmic Crucible Season 18. This is where things get very different, and we're definitely not going to have U32 until they fix the trophies, is my understanding. Don't quote me on that again. We wanted to let you know that there will not... Well, you can quote me on it now. We want to let you know that there will not be an Ultimate 32 between seasons of Cosmic Crucible this time, as we look to address the loss of points in U32. Season 18 will kick off on October 8th, with the first trial scheduled for October 10th. Global rules, Common Witchcraft. On defense and offense, non-mythic mystic characters gain 20% drain per negative effect, bleed, offense zone, trauma, or disrupt. So they gain drain per negative effect that they currently have. I'm cool with it just because it's different, right? It's different. For the accursed characters, if you don't flat out kill them, they're definitely going to slap back at you really hard. Although... Accursed before they take a turn, they're immune to offense down, I believe. Or no, you're immune to offense up. I think they can get offense down. They're immune to trauma. I believe they're immune to disrupt. They may not be immune to bleed. So maybe this is going to help the accursed team a little bit. Stage 1, teamwork. On defense and offense, striker characters. On ally turn, gain assist now. So striker characters are going to gain assist now. Okay. Hey, that's just extra damage, and we got a lot of interesting striker characters, especially those coming into the game soon. So I think Teamwork will be a pretty impactful rule, but it's very boring, right? Stage 2, Open Wound. On defense and offense, all characters. Apply Bleed on hit. Love that. Very thematic. Reduce resistance by 20% for any character with Bleed. Who cares? That's whatever, right? Who cares about resistance? Stage 3, Reflective Shielding. On defense and offense, all characters. On turn, gain deflect and defense up. Stage 4, Free Healthcare. On defense and offense, all characters on spawn, gain revive once with 50% max health. Okay. So all characters on spawn are going to gain revive once with 50% max health. This is going to be a great room for Blastar to get permakills in. This is going to be a great room for Phoenix Force to set up on defense. This would be a great room to try and sneak in like a Black Cat or a Gore or one of those characters that will remove revive once. I guess Daemon Hellstorm. No, that's in War only. He removes it, so scratch that. But there's going to be some interesting characters that are going to be removing revive once. Obviously, Mephisto would play a big role here, so that's pretty cool. I like that. Stage 5, it pours. On defense and offense, all characters. When a negative effect is applied to a character, increase the duration of all negative effects on allies of that character by 1. So when a negative effect is applied to a character, all their allies get their negative effects increased by 1. This does, or at least it has, applied to trauma before, because you can extend trauma, you just can't spread it. So that's cool. You'd have to get it set up first. This will be a big Mephisto room, or a big anti-Mephisto room, right? If you want defense, you want to put like an anti-Mephisto team in here, because Mephisto gets those initial debuffs out. He kind of flips so fast to his second turn that he'll just extend them all again, right? And he's going to do a rebound attack with his bleeds, so he'll hit 2 characters, so it'll probably be an extension on the entire enemy team. So, cool. I like that. Stage 6, temporal fluctuations. On defense and offense, all characters. On turn, clear all negative effects on self and gain speed up. Ooh. On turn, clear all negative effects and they gain speed up. With speed up, gain 20% speed. Okay. With bleed, offensive trauma, or disrupt, gain 50% speed. Wow. Okay. Okay. This feeds a lot, obviously, into the global rules, right? But, So mythic characters they'll get 20% drain per these effects. And if they have these effects, they're going to get speed, which means they're going to get their turn faster, which means they're going to access that drain faster. It seems interesting. Where this will become less interesting is if you cannot put a team in here that'll survive the opening moments of a fight, which is most fights is decided within the first moves, right? The first moves of a match are pretty locked in stone. Like, there's some wiggle room for some characters, some interactions, mostly with speed bar though, not with speed stat. So let's say, for instance, let's say we have a team of, let's say all 10 characters on the field are between speeds 134, our new Daemon, goated, and like 129. All of those characters have reached, I'm going to pull a number in my head. It's not going to be the right number, but the reasoning behind it is going to be correct. All 10 of those characters, if they're within that speed range, say they all have surpassed 100% turn bar on tick number 4. Well, it doesn't matter if my Daemon puts Disrupt and Trauma on your characters on his first turn if you're at 129 and I have characters ahead of that. It doesn't matter that I put Disrupts on you because we haven't actually moved forward yet. Tick 4 has happened. The game has analyzed what everybody's total speed bar is, and it's just going to be whoever has the most total speed bar on that tick 4 is going to be going first. So if I have Daemon, Black Panther, Shuri, I'm going to say Blue Marvel just because I know he's at 132, Songbird, and Black Cat. I know all 5 of those characters are going to go before your Gore, no matter how many debuffs I put on him. Because no actual further movement has happened in the tick space for him to realize these benefits of the speed and this, that, and the other, right? So just, that was probably super confusing if you're not, super in the weeds on the speed math in the game. But take it from me that this is going to be impactful in matches that you are going to have more than one round of turns either in your favor or in the enemy's favor. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, that was a weird way to finish off. War rules, Crucible rules. Let me know what you guys think. I think the war rules are looking a little bit spicier than we've seen in the past, but not enough to make me worry that the meta is going to be flipped on its head. And Crucible seems pretty boring. Not going to lie. Crucible seems pretty boring. This is cool, but it's kind of like a rebound sort of effect as opposed to something to lean into proactively. Teamwork, I think this room is going to be impactful. This room I don't think will matter at all. The only thing that kind of comes to mind is on apply bleed on hit means like Old Man Logan can get his speed stats super fast if you bring in a really fast character that's going to hit somebody and automatically apply bleed. But he's such an old character. Building around him doesn't really make much sense. Reflective shielding is an absolute joke of a room. This is like something I would expect to see on like a campaign node as like a random mod they put on the enemies. This is kind of a joke. Free healthcare. I mean, like, this is kind of interesting, but it is countered by just like a dozen or so characters that we have in the game, or any character that does permakills, right? So kind of cool, but I think it'll be hard to lean into it too much. Though at the tippy top where the balance is kind of the hardest, this could absolutely screw you, and one loss at the tippy top means a loss of the entire trial. So that's kind of cool. It pours also seems like something that you are going to be leaning into, I think, more than the other rooms. I think any sort of initialing debuffs that you can put out there and continue a speed advantage to extend those debuffs is definitely going to be something you lean into. And I'm curious about this one, because again, the way tick math works, this is not really going to be impactful unless you have like a wide range of speed stats between both teams, or particularly between all your characters and the enemy's fastest character that you do this to. So kind of interested there. All right, let me know what you guys think about these rules and how you're feeling about Marvel Strike Force as a whole in the comments below. But for now, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye-bye.